some time tonight. This is an exciting time to be a Girl Scout in Virginia Skyline, and we are so happy that that we have such dedicated, amazing rock stars like all of you to go on this journey with us. We want to begin with our promise and law, and we'd like you to join us wherever you are, unless you happen to be in a library, and we don't want anyone kicked out of a library. 105 years of tradition and saying this promise and accepting and living this law. As Girl Scouts, we've said these words around a campfire, around a flagpole, around a training room, around a troop meeting site, and now here in this new time of technology, we are joined by whatever, the internet, whatever is joining us together in this world of technology. So please join with me. On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law. I will do my best to be honest and fair, friendly and helpful, considerate and caring, courageous and strong, and responsible for what I say and do, and to respect myself and others, respect authority, use resources wisely, make the world a better place, and be a sister to every Girl Scout. Thank you guys for doing that. Now we're going to take a really quick look at the agenda. Hopefully you will have no trouble following us with this go-to-meeting technology. Megan has explained that pretty well. You can see that, that we've got a lot to cover tonight. We're going to do our very best to clearly cover these topics and then to provide a really great foundation for going forward into this new world and this new process.
And Denise, if you don't mind, I'm going to interject really quickly because I know that both Terry and Amo at least don't have power right now due to a tornado that went through Virginia.
So let me go. I forgot about the people out there with that. I'm so sorry about your weather issues, by the way. So our topic tonight is going to be the introduction to the CEI Council changes. We're going to give a recap of the CEI prep work that Jody sent out to you guys. We're going to talk about current onboarding and troop experience. Then we're going to talk about the new onboarding and troop experience that will become a reality under CEI. Megan's going to talk to you all about the new council tools and our new staff alignment and really try to focus on the benefits to you. We're going to make sure that we have time interspersed for questions and answers. And then before we close the meeting tonight, we will actually have the date for the next time that we're going to get together. So I just want to again welcome you. We're really excited to have this group of folks with us. We don't use the term rock stars lightly. We know that you all represent a group of volunteers who are passionate, have amazing skills and institutional knowledge of how our organization works and the needs of our volunteers and the expectations that we all need to be living up to in order to provide amazing opportunities for girls. We are a circle of friends, and we are united by common ideals and goals. Circle is that right there, sitting in the middle, standing in the middle, playing in the middle, learning in the middle, is of course our girls. So thank you again for being here and joining us, and I hope you all get lots out of this program. I'm going to turn it over to Terry.
Hi, this is Terry Richardson. I'm going to take over where Denise left off. She said that we are a circle of friends, and a circle is round, and that's why we have a round table. We used to have roundtables in the olden days in each one of our Girl Scout areas around the council, and we used to meet in person, and it was usually by area. We sometimes did potluck, and it was very informative. And now we've moved into more of a technology-based era for all of us. And so again, welcome to the roundtable. And our roundtable objectives for tonight is to establish reoccurring communications from our council directors to our service unit rock stars. So we want to make sure there's an open communication between staff and volunteers. And this is going to be the first of many roundtable meetings. And we want to enforce trust by improving council transparency and communication. And we want to provide regular reports and updates focused on our council ways of work and relevant information that's important to you all. And then the third thing we want to do is we want to ensure the effective collaboration with and across our service units. We want to make sure that Girl Scouts looks the same from one end of our council to the other end of our council, and we have a consistent message, and that we are all on the same page, and that everybody's informed of how our council is moving forward. And then today's roundtable objective agenda also is to establish roundtable discussions. So this is a two-way street. We get to talk, you get to talk, back and forth. We're going to do a pre-work recap. And pre-work recap is the videos that we had shared with you before tonight, if you had a chance to look at them. And then the full CEI picture of what's going on with the Customer Engagement Initiative. You know, where's our Girl Scouts of Virginia Skyline in the big picture? We want to make sure that you are informed about that. And then we're going to bring you up to speed with the CEI changes. Again, the Customer Engagement Initiative changes at our council level. Next slide. And our CEI prep work that we were asked to do, if you had a chance to do it, you might not have had a chance depending on your technology opportunities available to you. Had become familiar with the three basic features of CEI, or the Customer Engagement Initiative. If not, if you have not had the opportunity, please revisit the pre-work after the meeting. And then here's the link on this slide here below that you can see where the pre-work was. So,
hey Terry, I'll make a quick interjection to those who've joined us. One of the things we ask is that you please mute your phone or your computer when you join in. It helps reduce background noise and feedback. Thank you.
okay.
Okay, this is Denise, and I'm back. And so I want to talk to you about why CEI. The graph that you're looking at right now is a picture of the last 11 years of membership for Virginia Skyline Council. And not the prettiest picture that we've seen, but a true representation of how we have been working to sustain a solid membership base here at Virginia Council, and it shows the challenges that we have had. If you look at the purple bars that are going up on the graph, that's the membership of girls each year. And you can see that obviously from 2006 to 2017, we've suffered some membership loss. Even more concerning to us probably is that you're seeing the green bars, and that represents the girls that we are able to retain from year to year. And we do a really good job once we get those girls in our program and start really providing opportunities for them, and the volunteers start doing their amazing jobs of leadership of those girls. But the girls that we're able each year to bring into our organization, our new recruitment, you can see how that has dwindled. You can see how it has, looking at 2017, you can see the difference of what those new girls represent than what our new girls represented in 2017 and 2018. So we have a concern and we have some challenges. Clearly, the measure of these new girls is steadily and seriously decreasing, as with our total membership. So we want you to understand that the Customer Engagement Initiative is designed specifically to address this issue and really so much more. It's not simply technology, and it's not just a registration system. It is a new way to work and support volunteers and parents. And there is a razor-sharp focus on customer care and accountability. The first council in the nation that went on to the CEI program went on in 2014. When we go live in June on CEI, we will be joining 90 of our sister councils. So we are the 91st council out of 112 councils that are adopting this process. By September, by the end of September, it is thought that all 112 Girl Scout councils will be onboarded with CEI. We will all be using the same tools and being able to measure the same things that we need to measure. And by using those measurements and the results of what we do every day, every month, every year, we will be able to do a continuous effort to improve everything we do and to keep learning and growing as a movement in order to change as our girls learn and grow. We're very excited about this process. What makes us even more excited at this perfect time of bringing on a new way of work is that we're also bringing on a new leadership for the council. You may have heard, and tomorrow it will be going out in the volunteer weekly piece, but we wanted you guys to know that there is a new CEO for Virginia Skyline. Her name is Nikki Williams. She is affiliated with Hollins University, works in their alumni department. She is out of this world excited to get into this organization and work with us to make change and to make the lives of girls better. You are going to enjoy meeting her and working with her. She starts at the council on April 24th, and you will be hearing a lot about her and a lot from her in the future, and it's going to be an exciting time to have a new leader and a new system working with all of us to keep us going in a forward direction. And again, thank you all. Thank all of our rock stars. And I happen to know we have staff rock stars on the phone tonight too. So it absolutely is going to take all of us to do the brand, to deliver on the brand promise that we give girls when they join our movement and say their promise for the first time. So thank you.
Well, and before I get started, let me thank you, Denise, so much for all of your hard work. And while I am, and sorry, this is Megan Duval again, and I'm that Nikki is joining the Girl Scouts and will be leading this council, but I've really enjoyed working with you, and you have done so much to instill energy and hope and so many of the important traditions and values of the Girl Scout movement, and I just want to thank you so much for all of your time that you've given us.
Appreciate that, Megan. It's been a joy.
All right, so now we'll jump into some more details of the council changes. So again, we sent out that pre-work because we've been kind of talking about the toolkit and the opportunity catalogs a lot, but there's more to CEI. There's much more to the CEI just those main features. There's a lot of work happening inside the council, and while we don't want to overwhelm our new troop leaders and parents with that information, as valued leaders in this council, it's really important that you know what's going on at the council level as well. So what we're going to talk about is how we're changing and how CEI is changing the onboarding and troop experience. So currently, a new troop leader may not get in front of their first troop meeting for 2 months after the recruitment event. And now we're trying to get our interested troop leaders and our background check troop leaders in front of their troops within 2 weeks of that recruitment event. Part of this is both getting our customer or our volunteers in front of that experience that they're really looking for, which is the troop experience, but also one of the insights that GSUSA has provided is that interested girls also have a shelf life. They have a waning interest, and that 2 months is part of the reason we're losing girls, because by the time we get back to them, they've forgotten that they signed up, or certainly their parents have moved on or found another activity for them. So additionally, we'll share some of the details of the new council tools, and then of course the staff alignment. We're creating some new positions. So to kind of underscore the experience that we're giving to the CEI experience right now is for, again, our new volunteers and our new troop leaders and parents, we want them to simply experience a better world and get the help when they need it and experience their troops and be in front and lead their troops when they want to. And they don't need to know all kind of the messy change and all the hard work that the staff is doing. They're going, and especially the new ones, once we switch over in June, they're going to have it a lot easier. And those, weeks and weeks of training and confusion will go. They'll never even understand those, and that's a good thing. It's a new age. So, but for tonight, for you, our volunteer, we're calling you rock stars because that's what you are. You go above and beyond, and your dedication is critical. So what tonight is sort of the start of giving you a backstage pass to the changes that are coming and how all that magic is actually happening. So the key backstage secret is turning down that onboarding fire hose of 3 or 4 different types of trainings and every resource you could possibly, own. Taking 2 months, we're overwhelming our new volunteers and new leaders with information before they're even getting in front of their troop. And so, but in turn, we're going to increase the amount of support that we give them once they are in front of their troop, because right now we don't have a great way to support them. And so the third secret, and it all adds up, is going to be we're adding a placement specialist to staff. This is an all-new role. It's really exciting, but even the placement specialist would not be possible without the fourth secret, which is a great and powerful system. And so when Denise referred or made mention that this is much more than a new registration, it's because this isn't just a new eBiz registration. It's so much more. At the council, we're getting a new system. It's a tool that will allow us to give the customer service and the customer care that you all have come to expect from any organization that you give your time and money to. So similarly, as you call your cable company and they know the last time they talked to you and all of your account history, we're getting that tool. And it's also going to allow that new placement specialist to facilitate placement in a way that we've never been able to. And so this image is a reflection of the onboarding and troop experience of today. The overall message here is that it's a mess, and we have a lot of cooks in the kitchen, especially in those first 2 to 3 months. We've got our customer care team trying to keep track of volunteer applications and background checks and updating a Google tracking sheet. And then our volunteer support teams are keeping track of registration and training into another volunteer tracking sheet. And we've got council trainers and service unit leaders helping us keep track of all of those spreadsheets. And then our poor recruiters, they're doing their events. They're having to keep an eye on all of those spreadsheets and waiting to see when those troop leaders have gotten that, been the fire hose is turned off and they're completely stunned, and then they try and facilitate, help them when they're parent meeting. And the next thing you know, once that troop meeting happens, they're gone. We put them in, they're basically in a black hole, and that's, we've heard that that's the experience that they're having, but that's because right now we don't have a good tool to take care of our troop leaders and keep in touch with them. And also, I can't even, it takes 2 to 3 months for our new troop leaders to get through that mess of a process. The amount of time our staff are spending keeping those spreadsheets up to date and trying to make sure they're all on the same page is really, it's taking away from important time with our customers. And it's, if our volunteers and our troop leaders knew, if they got an email or they knew every time that our staff and our volunteers and our rock stars, our leader volunteers were looking at their name in a spreadsheet, they would feel the love and they would feel extremely supported. But right now, it's not how the system works, but that is going to change. So, and also because of this imperfect system or lack of a system really at the council level, we have these critical and valuable service unit meetings, the program events, council training, enrichment happening, but there's no good way to connect those new troop leaders to those important experiences. And so, part of the key, the way we're going to fix this is more than just the toolkit and the opportunity catalog. Really, we're adding this really important role, and we're getting a great and powerful system. And for AMO, I apologize, I should have clarified too that I'm using Wizard of Oz analogies here. And so the new volunteers get to see basically the great and powerful Oz, but at the council and what we're showing you here today is behind the green curtain. Okay, so with this new great and powerful system and with this new and important placement specialist role, this is going to be the new onboarding and troop experience. Keys here is cleaning up that mess, but also what that means is recruiters are able to focus on recruitment. Placement specialists focus on placement, and our volunteer specialists provide ongoing support, troop program level guidance and expertise, and then also point them in the direction of those important programs and trainings and service unit programs and events. Kind of the concept going from a world where many hands are trying, and staff are wearing many hats, trying to keep track of a new troop leader status, and now going from doing many things not so well to 1 or 2 things really well. And so the idea here is with a better experience, a more enriched and collaborative experience, renewal will increase. They're going to continue, retention will increase, and with additional opportunities, those go into that opportunity catalog that we talked to. So I'm going to take a quick pause here. I see some questions in the chat bubble. So, Deanna, hi Deanna. Are you looking into ways to decrease the fall background check turnaround time to under a week? So is your question from when they submit a background check to when we get the results and let them know that it's been approved? Yes. Awesome. So Great question, and that is absolutely in line with a great and powerful system. As of today, part of the reason it's so painful is because we don't have any kind of connection to that background check system, but our new one is connected. And so that's part of the way that we're able to decrease the onboarding time so drastically. So it will absolutely improve. So any other questions just based on sort of these images? All right, let's keep going. Okay, so for our volunteers, what this means for you is a lot of the painful tracking, well, for you, the painful tracking sheets are going away. So that new volunteer tracking sheet, the girl waiting list, that's going away. So that's one of the key values of that placement specialist in the new system is we're going to have a system that keeps track of our girls and our waiting volunteers. And so what that means is now our service unit and our trainers, service unit volunteers, you can focus on the fun stuff, the mentoring, the training, again, developing more programs and events so that troops, have fun activities and of course recognitions, which is another key piece to renewal. All right, so this is the new staff alignment that will be going into effect in mid-June. And so I've highlighted, basically it's our membership services area, because these were the ones, this was the departments most affected by the new system. You'll see that Star Mays and Amy Morgan are going to be the council's first ever placement specialists.
Yay.
So we are extremely excited about them joining, and yeah, we're really looking forward to that, and they're going to help define that role. One question we've had, so some of the trainers here may have heard some of this information before, and someone had brought up an important concern, and that is, well, Star and Amy have a lot on their plate already and are overworked. You're not putting more on their plate and expecting them to do everything that they've already been doing. And the answer is absolutely not. And we're doing a lot of work to streamline processes so that customer care focuses on customer care, and Star and Amy are going to be responsible for placement and placement only. You'll also note that Stephanie Collis is moving over from volunteer support to, she's going to be one of our new program specialists alongside April Gilley. And Kate Noggle is going to be one of our volunteer specialists, which is really exciting. Let's see, what else? So our recruiters are staying our recruiters. So Elizabeth, Stephanie, and Deidre are going to still be our rockstar recruiters. The other big move is Kathleen Fort is coming in to lead our customer care team, and she's going to help establish a lot of the new best practices, and we're really looking forward to having her expertise and attention to detail and process. And then of course we've got our new CEO up on that top bar, which we're really excited about. All right. So, in order to make all this magic happen, it's a lot of work. And the other analogy that we're using for the changes in the council specifically is that we're essentially building a plane while we're flying it. And so right now, we're asking for your patience. Pardon our dust as we learn new processes and a new system. And so, staff has been busy working on this the last few months, and we're we're entering in April and May. We're doing a lot of training. So we're basically, at about this point, we're considering it about 50% done. Certainly the staff training is critical. The alignment is going to go into effect in June. And then, of course, our passengers, that's a really critical piece. You, the volunteers, our troop leaders, our parents, are our passengers, and you'll be getting emails to join the system in mid to late June as well. The other big piece is we're going to be facilitating on-time and online renewal hubs July 17th through September 15th. The idea to provide hubs with staff and help you all do renewal in the new system and kind of work through some of the kinks and playing around in the system before. And we definitely want troop leaders. There's going to be a pass incentive. We want our existing volunteers and troop leaders to get comfortable in the system before back to troop startup begins. So I put together some images of the systems that we're using today. They're a little antiquated. I've got an old jalopy and a huck fin type raft for the volunteer application, which is thankfully going away.
Graphics. I love your graphics, by the way.
I've got a sinking boat, which is our eBiz membership registration. However, I've also got a nice charter bus, though, for our eBiz event program and training registration, because we're reinvesting in that. We're making sure that we're doubling down on our program events and trainings that are happening in eBiz, because that is going to stay with us. But the painful, antiquated Google tracking sheets are going away, and this is the new world that we're moving into. It's a great big giant, it's called a cruise plane, so and it's also the Star Trek Enterprise in there too. So again, this is our great and powerful system that we're moving to and we're really excited about, but it's a lot of work, and we're excited. But we do ask for your patience as we navigate this new territory. So just kind of want to emphasize actually no, at this point I'm going to turn it over to Terry, and you can get a break from my voice.
Hey. Hey, this is Terry. I love your graphics. This is the opposite of the fire hosing. This is what we have to look forward to, is we're going to get back to the progressive troop support. We're going to start with, this is what we're asking for the troop leaders to do for the girls, and so this is what we want to do for us as staff, for our volunteers, and then the Rockstar volunteers, the ones that have direct contact with the new leaders that are coming on board. This is how we're going to be handling our new volunteers coming on board. Online new leader orientation, and then it moves gradually over to the troop kickoff meeting so they get up and rolling. And then their Girl Scouting 102, their enrichment and mentoring in their Girl Scout community, and then recognitions and renewal. And we also want to make sure that these new troop leaders are able to get plugged into their service unit, but we also understand that a lot of our new troop leaders, or all of our troop leaders, work full-time, have multiple children, running like maniacs, possibly going back to school, and have, there might be a single parent. And so the onboarding and the training is supposed to be more, they get it when they need it instead of us cramming it down their throats. And it's supposed to be intended to be enjoyable onboarding experience that we are able to give them with our. So the customer engagement recap. We're trying to make it easier for these sign-ups for these Girl Scout opportunities. We have this Girl Scout opportunity that is just, Girl Scout opportunity catalog that is just amazing. You can sign up to be a new girl. You can sign up to be a new adult. The troop leaders can actually sign up new girls into their troops. This is something that we don't have access to right now, which is pretty cool. So we are going to work through the difficult placement processes, the difficult placement processes that we have in place right now. So with our new tools, we're going to simplify and reduce the time that it takes to volunteer. So all these girls that are interested and have a shelf life, we're going to make sure that they get onboarded quickly. And again, we're going to turn down that onboarding fire hose. And then the last piece, just for a recap, is to ensure that volunteers get help when and how they need it. The first year is very critical. The first year, there's a lot of floundering. It's trying to get your feet under you, figuring out what's going on. Just because you decide to be a Girl Scout leader and you're willing to be this volunteer doesn't mean you understand everything that needs to be done. And it's a lot of pressure. We really want to make sure that first year troop leader succeeds and that they have a great experience themselves, their daughter has a great experience, and that they want to continue on for the next year. And we want to make sure that we are contacting our volunteers in a timely manner. We actually have the volunteer specialists in each one of our regions are going to have a different focus this upcoming year. We're going to, instead of just focusing on the service unit meetings and spending our time there, we're going to spend a little bit more time with these troops, calling them, checking in, seeing how this new troop leader is doing, seeing if they need any help. And, you know, it doesn't take that long to make a phone call, so that's where we're going to put our energy. So I know we've talked about a lot, and now is the time for questions. Quiet. I'm on my phone. I gotta mute myself. So hang on just a second. Does anybody have any questions?
Terry, this
questions
is
about
Megan.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, who is that? Go ahead. Okay. Sorry if I spoke over anyone. I wanted to clarify that for this meeting, we really wanted to share with you some more understanding about how CEI is going to change that onboarding experience, the behind the scenes piece, and then also what the new staff alignment is going to look like. But we wanted to set this stage before we dive into future discussions, which will then explain more details on exactly what those new roles will do and how you will interact with them. And so that's actually going to be the next roundtable discussion. It's going to be the new staff roles and their duties, and so that'll be May 25th. We're moving these to the 4th Thursdays of each month. While it may ultimately conflict with some troop meetings, as of now, it doesn't conflict with any service unit meetings. So that said, Deanna had a question.
Megan, this is Denise. Would you like me to take that question?
Sure.
So Deanna has asked, did anyone look at how recruitment and retention improved for councils that switched over in 2014? So I love that question. I happened to be with a council in Reno, Nevada doing some intern work in the spring of 2015, and they were the second group of councils that GSUSA took through this process. And I just got back from a GSUSA meeting in St. Louis and met with that council and other councils. And that council is just about the same size as Sierra Nevada. I'm sorry, it's about the same size as Virginia Skyline, about 5,000 to 5,500 girls. And they had a 5.5% membership increase last year.
Wow.
So that's one statistic that I personally had a long discussion with and worked with that council, and know that their staff resources and their geography is just as widespread, and really the staff members are very close to ours. So I felt really good when I talked to them. In an overall sense, during that meeting in St. Louis with, I think there were 95 councils out of 112 councils that were present in St. Louis. And we heard from council after council after council that talked about the difference that CEI has made to their to the functions that are running the council business. Now, and when I say that, some councils spoke a lot about how much the customer care support had made everyone's life so much easier. That the customer care call, phone number, the customer care email that went directly into the council, and where the accountability was to get those answered quickly and to get them answered with the first time that they were asked by the first person that answered that phone or that answered that email. Those kind of statistics were really quite amazing with this system, and the way that people were getting their answers and then able to go about and do their work, both staff and volunteers, was making an incredible impact on the amount of time that they were actually able to use then recruiting girls. The volunteers that have now been using the volunteer toolkit for up to, some of them, this is their third year, have nothing but amazing things to say about how that has impacted their ability to plan their work with girls and the time savings that it has created for them, so that they're not spending a lot of time planning and filling out forms and getting in touch with girls, because this system has amazing ways to do all of that in a very efficient and timely manner. So we did get some statistics, and I will try to gather some of those statistics so Megan can share them with you. But I will tell you, in a room of probably 300 Girl Scout staff people who were CEOs, finance people, and then membership directors, I do not remember one negative comment about CEI coming from the floor of that 3-day meeting. And that in itself, I think, speaks a lot of this system. Thank you for that question, Deanna.
This is Terry. I just thank you, Denise, for sharing that. That says a lot, especially having that many councils represented at your conference. I wanted to say, I know that there's quite a few people on this phone call right now that are very membership-minded. And in the past ways of work and just ways of thinking, we have thought that membership meant only recruitment. Recruitment, recruitment, recruitment. It is more than recruitment. It is recruitment and retention. By golly, if we can retain everybody, we would have to stop recruiting, because, you know, we don't have to stop recruiting, but we always have kindergartners and people that want to join. But it is a different way of onboarding our volunteers with our new system, and we've got to look at recruitment in a new way. And you're thinking, how do I fit into this when we have these waiting lists and we have these tracking sheets and such right now in place? So our placement specialists, our recruiters, our 3 recruiters that are spread out through our council, they will be doing recruitment, recruitment, recruitment. They will need your help. They will need you to be there and help them, you know, by their side when they're there in your area. But the placement piece is totally different. We're feeding these leads of people wanting to be interested in Girl Scouts to our opportunity catalog. And we have troops there waiting for them. We have blank skeleton troops. We've got troops that need more girls. We have troops that need more adults. And so this system is really carrying the weight or the heavy load of onboarding more so than we've ever seen before. And I don't know if you can see, but I'm smiling through the phone. I'm pretty excited about this. I really am. And so our job, staff and volunteers, key volunteers, the volunteers that are helping with recruitment, are making sure that everybody hears about Girl Scouts and everybody has the opportunity to join. And once they get their name, phone number, email, and zip code in our system, we've got our teeth in them, and they don't have a chance. They can't, we're not letting them go because of our new system. It just sends them automatic emails. We are calling them, and it's just a total different way of work. Very different. Is there any more questions, Megan? Anybody typing any more questions for us?
So Amy Collier brought up a really good point, and I'm going to just go ahead and mention it because I think it's certainly worth discussing, and also I'd love to get some feedback and suggestions. So her concern is, overall, though, she's saying it sounds awesome for new leaders, but concerned about how current leaders are going to be trained in the new system, and some people have a very tough time with new changes, and you're absolutely right, and that's part of why we've been trying to get out to the service unit meetings as much as we can, have some information and messages, but unfortunately there is no way to do a test training before the system is available in June. But that is part of the reason we want to do these renewal hubs. So that will be an opportunity to have people come out and work with staff directly and give renewal and the new system a try. Overall, I can promise you that the way the system works is so much more intuitive and friendly than eBiz membership registration is. So we're very aware that we want to be sensitive to the difficulty of new changes and how to work with them in that system. The toolkit itself overall isn't required, and so those existing troop leaders who love their paper manuals and leader books will absolutely be able to continue using those. The finance report is going to move into the toolkit, but I don't think anyone will complain about that once you see how easy that is.
I think they're going to love it.
Friendly that is.
Yeah.
So Deanna has another great question. So in a future call, can we get a better idea of how the open houses at elementary schools will flow and how they'll get entered into the new system and access to the catalog? And we will absolutely, we'll do a deeper dive into that. We will probably do some of that at the next roundtable, but we'll also do it in one of the CCC Thursday night meetings as well. And of course, anytime you all want to talk through this, please feel free to call the council office. But we'll definitely go into more detail about how each of the roles will work with both the volunteers and then also with just the public in general and new parents.
I just want to thank everybody for being on this call. I'm sitting here with my flashlight on my notes. And
thank you so much.
It's getting dark out. There's probably more people on this call that don't have electricity besides Amo and Terry. I bet there is. Anyway, so go ahead.
No, go ahead, Terry.
I was going to say every Thursday night, mark your calendar, 7 to 8 o'clock, put your slippers on, get your tea out, close yourself in a room so it's quiet, and join us for our CCC, Council Communications go-to meetings.
And these will taper off once we're into the new system and most people don't have questions, but we'll, I think, Amy, that's to your question as well. It's another idea that we leave these open just simply for troubleshooting and working with anyone that's got questions. But until then, each week we're doing new topics, and so next week we're talking about new volunteer roles and their responsibilities within the service units, and certainly we're looking for feedback, and we want to we're proposing those, and we're hoping to fine-tune those with your involvement and get your input. And if there are no other questions on CEI, as part of function of a roundtable, please, you're welcome to bring up any other topics or questions you have.
We can actually go through a little bit of the opportunity catalog for the service unit team positions at our next meeting next week. Excuse me. Every Thursday. Next week, we're talking about the proposed volunteer roles and responsibilities. So that's when we're going to actually walk through some of the opportunity catalog functions for a service unit team member and their roles, and how somebody might want to post that position, volunteer for that position, and so on. Every service unit has a different different needs. Some are larger than others, and so on. So we'll walk through that together. If there's any other questions, Megan, I think it's almost 8 o'clock.
Yep. I think in the future too, I think keeping these to an hour is going to be ideal.
Yes.
At least trying to. So we're not going to post this recording on the CEI webpage because there's a lot of information, but we will email this out to everyone, and then we'll keep it stored at the council. So anytime if you can't find the email or you need us to resend it for whatever reason, we'll absolutely send those along. And thank you all so much for joining. And again, this is just the beginning of more transparency and communication from the council to you, our invaluable volunteers. So thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and sign off.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night.